So we made it out of Honolulu and we're going to the, help me, Waianae?
Waianae, yeah.
The Waianae Massif?
Waianae mountain range, which is on the west side of Oahu and represents the one of two shield volcanoes that make up Oahu. The other one is Koalau. And the Waianae volcano is slightly older.
Okay.
And it features the classical stages of the Hawaiian shield volcanoes. So the early alkalic stage, and then the shield stage, and the post-shield stage.
And the shield stage is a bit more kind of tholeiic?
Yes, tholeiic.
Yes.
And
okay.
The post-shield stage is mildly alkalic, and usually if you have post-erosional stage, then that's strongly alkalic.
So that's the mountains there in the distance that we can see beyond the houses there. Well, now they're gone. The houses have taken up a centerpiece in the video, but anyway, we're driving towards it. And you were saying that because we just passed Pearl Harbor, this is actually the mountain range over which the Japanese airplanes came back then.
Yes, they came through a pass in these mountains when they did the first attack.
So just
Pearl
up
Harbor.
There we can now see a little bit more of the mountains.
We'll see a bit later on. And a little bit of canyons, there's a little bit of canyon country out here.
Fascinating history. So, and this shield volcano, give us an age if you have one, approximately speaking.
Oh, that might be totally off my game here, but I think it's like right around 5 million or something like that.
5 million, okay. And the younger one on the island?
It's just slightly younger, about maybe a million years younger. But
Okay, I see.
You know, the age span is several million years, so they do overlap. And the area between the two mountain ranges, which is where the old pineapple fields used to be, or still are to some extent, that's the saddle between the two volcanoes.
I see. Okay, now we're getting a little bit more of the mountain range there. So that's the old shield volcano. And of course this was eroded, and then there's an episode of post-erosional volcanism here on the island. That's some of the sintercones that we've got.
Yes, so it's strongly alkalic, and that's much later. And the post-erosional volcanism is it's sort of a rejuvenation of volcanism on islands which haven't erupted for up to 1.5 million years in some cases. And it's thought to be, well, at least one of the hypotheses why it happens is that the load of the big island where the main volcanism is, which is right above the mantle plume, the load of that island is so great on the oceanic crust that it generates a bulge.
Right.
And which is sort of roughly circular around the hot spot is. And that bulge is quite elevated, so when these islands ride over the bulge, there is creates a pressure release in the mantle underneath and generates the post-erosional volcanism.
And that's of course really important, because this concept of main shield stage and then erosion and post-erosional magmatism, that has been employed in many ocean islands, including the Canaries where I mainly work, but of course also in the Cape Verdes, and it's been a rather standardized way to try to understand oceanic islands and their evolution. So the concepts, these fundamental concepts of shield stage, erosional hiatus and post-erosional magmatism, they have been coined here on Hawaii, and they have been transferred to many ocean island systems all over the world, including, as I said, the Canaries. So this is a classic place geologically speaking, and it's quite fascinating. So, okay, we're driving on.
The hill right in front of us is actually one of the younger, if I remember correctly, one of the younger formations on the Waianae volcano. So a post-shield.
Yes, I was wondering the reddishness. It's quite oxidized.
And there's a fairly thick andesitic, I think, flow which people have been quarrying.
I see. So last gasp of the big shield volcano. Good. So we're driving on the motorway, sorry, the freeway it's called here, and then we'll report back once we are getting a little bit closer to the rocks. Thank you very much, Tor. It's been fantastic.